Welcome back. Now, I know today is slightly different. Mainly because there is something that I've been wanting to watch and people have been on at me and saying how great it is, and barring a certain second season of anything, then... well, I don't see a better time to watch it than right now. So that's what I'm going to do. When I originally watched the anime, I was, pleasantly surprised. It did a lot of things that I quite enjoyed, especially some otherworld version of our history, which is kind of nice. It's trying to get along with those same lines, while still bringing up the idea of atheism and theism in the spite of having a deity talk to you. But more than anything, I probably just want to see more of Tanya's merciless onslaught. So, let's get watching the Youjo Senki movie. I believe hearing that was their first thing that they made. Studio Nut. You gotta give them that. Quite impressive. Quite a far-flung distance from the battlefields that we've seen. So they're talking about the exploits of what the Empire did. Is that... is that the mad scientist dude? I can't remember. The will of God is a fickle thing. Well, isn't that always? Humans are simple creatures, aren't they? I wonder if that was meant to symbolize anyone. That's why you can never underestimate anyone during war. You got to prioritize your targets. They are the, number one ace squad. If anyone to go in and do things risky. That is definitely a mustache. The mobility of their flying gear looks like it far outweighs the broomstick or rocking horse dudes. Nicely done. Take out the command, the ones issuing the orders. Oh. Asking Being X for his power. Basically a prayer that goes against everything that she believes in. You've got to admit that there are a lot of visuals in this which are nice. Nice! So that spell transformed the bullet into much more than an artillery shell. Clever. I've forgotten the positions of all of the sub guys in this. Not sure I agree with that statement. Have you confirmed the target? She knows more than anyone that things don't go as easily as planned. How indeed, by the will of the gods. But it's been a long-running theme of the shows where she's trying to get a comfy little away from the fight position. You just see a little hair antenna go past. There are so many people's names which I do not remember because are they that important? Morale is probably usually high. Is he confused because of it being Tanya? There ain't no rest for the wicked. That's what you get for being up a cut above everyone else. I do like how she has to try and be all impressive and commanding while standing on a box. They're in dangerous waters then. Yeah, it's about self-defense. You have to wait for them to fire. Self-defense. You can't be seen to be the aggressors, so... They do have the right to be a bit self-confident. Especially when they've been trained by this maniac. I'm wondering if any of them have to wear like parachutes or something along with their fly gear. I can't remember if I've ever seen anything like that. So there's a fortified position. Oh, hell, what was that called? I think I know what that's meant to be based off. It would be a very valuable target to apprehend or destroy. I never learned Morse code. Are they just adjusting it to get it into operational? No, they're actually firing. What was the target? They've been given the go-ahead, haven't they? So the easy recon job seemed to have been cut short. My knowledge of historical battles or not isn't amazing. So the things like places and names, when they're changed slightly, probably means I can't remember what they are meant to be based off. So they've hit the shell, you destroy the thing and the crew. I wonder if they'll lose anyone in this raid, though. Aww. No shockwave? You seem to be enjoying it a bit much there. You see, despite her being quite adept at it, damn commies. Wonder if that was a commissar type thing going on. So they're being pushed back. So if they attack from behind, they are deep behind enemy lines, so that's something good. Until they get... They'll have to divert forces. Cessna. When was the Cessnas actually built? Okay, I don't know. My aviation history there isn't amazing, despite working on a Cessna for quite a while. The 560, 550 versions. You do get an odd sense of joy out of this, I give you that. One thing about Tanya is that she does, despite everything that goes on, the command, respect and fear her. Which is both a benefit and a detriment. You give yours. If anyone can pull it off, the crack squad could. Or at least try. Plus her strategic thinking is quite amazing for on-the-spot decisions. War doesn't allow the luxury of time. Well, now, you can't not take that bet. We're seeing the story of nope, can't remember. But a rival force. If you've watched the series, I'm guessing it's the girl, yes, who lost her dad after you went a bit what's the word? She cut her hair. Mary, okay. When you went a bit fervently after Tanya. Wasn't the word I was looking for, but I can't remember. Zealous. There we go. It was going to annoy me if I didn't remember. Multinational. That is the issue with the Empire. They are attacking everywhere on all fronts. And we know how well that goes in our timeline. Yep, they like to try things and then gets people killed. I mean, it's a nice ideal that they have for this squadron. Quite an analogy he has there. Or metaphor. It seems everyone here has to smoke, but we know Tanya's thoughts on that. So they're giving themselves a handicap. Damn communists. Somewhere in Moscow. See, a lot of these generals look kind of similar, no matter what side they're on. I can see where this might be going. Nikolai. I have bad feelings about anyone named Nikolai after various stories I've played through in various games. Failure is not tolerated. And apparently, anyone that fails is under suspicion. Don't crash the car, mate. People in power disgust me, especially those who abuse it to that extent. That is a face I welcome. Couldn't happen to a nicer man. Who will he accuse of failing this time? The issue here is the civilians caught in the crossfire, but... The thing is, their blitz here can... is going to have to be quite quick before they have any retaliation. Not to cause actual issues or get yourself in any danger. It's a distraction diversion attempt on the basis of it. She has a way of commanding the men. Is that meant to be, shit, what's his name? Like Lenin or something? I don't like her chances if she's having to go through this training now in the hopes of defeating the Devil of the Rhine. Wow. Attacking the new recruits. You can't stand around. Don't let your guard down, no matter how terrible the air defense. They might land a lucky hit. Are we going to learn a bit more about her backstory then? It looks like their squad might need a bit more training. Not ready for the front lines yet. No fatalities though, so quite good. Oh dear. Like father, like daughter. You'll be throwing your own life away. Even if you are virtuous, there's no need to be suicidal. Good. Can't have what I'm guessing will be the climax of the story too soon. Are they claiming victory over the capital? This is one way to prove your dominance. and filming their own propaganda here. Power play at its finest. And we know that the Empire isn't above using Tanya in their propaganda. Don't you have bigger problems? Well, that's a court-martialing. You've got to admit that the aerial fights in this have always been quite good. Okay. Well, they've been given the orders, so... So her latent abilities are amazing, but she's untrained. Having a personal shield would be nice. The amount of times I've injured myself through being, well, relatively useless. Tables and walls are especially evil. Don't know why they have to be so hostile. Even in the midst of everything that's going on, she has good eyes. Pah! At least it was with the butt of the gun and not something worse. She was knocked off of her, I forgot about the gun. And exactly who it belongs to. Or belonged. Well, if anyone was going to go Super Saiyan... It's funny how the powers that have been gifted by God can be so easily empowered through base emotion. She took quite a bit of a tumble. Yeah, not only physically, but mentally. Oh, how he loves to make things difficult. It's that kind of fervent hatred which seems to spawn quite powerful entities. What? Quite impressive. Although you're probably going to be expecting a counter-attack. I don't know why the higher-ups always take, like, the, like it's their victory. Haha. 1926, okay. I think they've definitely earned the right to have a bit of a party. Yep, his personal collection of drink. They can't drink it if he downs it all first. It is a social occasion. I'd rather have a nice steak than a glass of wine, but... hopefully. That's my reaction around people when they drink. I used to be the one that was looking after everyone because I don't really drink that much. God, I hate drunk people. Psst. They were given the order. He's had enough, has he? Hopefully they'll be fine for the next assignment. the horrors of war and what they've been forced to do. Oh, that bloody nutcracker. Catches up with a lot of people. Interference. She has something that she needs to do. Unfortunately, despite her ideals, what does she expect to do? The world is not this idyllic place that you'd like to believe. Mm. Yes, vengeance isn't a reason to fight. Not as a soldier, at least. And therein you see the issue. It's not the Empire she has a hatred for. Early morning wake-up call. Well done. Looks like they lost quite a bit of ground. Great. And then loop round. Sometimes you have to suffer a few defeats to get the win. Well, there's a lot of people that think you see, there are so many factors at play, like political ideals, personal vengeance, etc. Ah, they're trapped. Are they particularly against urban combat? there's a lot of artillery and stuff they actually have to pay attention to. Well, not to them, no, but... That is one thing about this squad, is their in that word, adaptability. Although I do feel like the mages aren't being made the most of their usefulness, though. What did she realise? Do you just need to give some advice to them? Nice. When things go your way. Seemed almost farcical to save people. When you say we won, do you mean she won from that? That's what it looked like just then. Yep. The thing with rescue missions is you've got to weigh the possibilities of the casualties you'll suffer trying to rescue them over what you're rescuing, and if it's worth it or not. Along with the territory you might save as well. Yep, seems about right for communists. Just send a huge wave of men together down a tight corridor. Destroy the bridge. That one guy that went flying. If you needed the depth of that sound there. But yeah, if you needed the morale to continue fighting there. Despite the height difference, there is not a power struggle thing going on there. But they're probably too busy being thankful they're not dead. That might be the truth after the scenes we saw. Too close. I'll hold you to that. A downright genius on the battlefield. See, I find it funny that every nation speaks the same language, but for storytelling purposes, they're going to have to, aren't they? The MDJ. So they're wanting a revenge attack. Is that really of strategic importance? I guess showing the Empire that they were able to wipe them out would be a huge blow, but... Airplanes? Why would you build airplanes when you can have personal flying gear? Okay. The way that his eyes jittered there wasn't quite in tandem. I mean, we've already seen big aircraft like bombers and stuff in the series, but... Oh wait, it was the Russians. I mean, the communists, who don't believe in majors, so yeah, of course they would make planes. I'd say 98% of the entire battlefield would rather be in the pub than in the front lines. A bit of a wild card. Despite her convictions of wanting to defeat Tanya, she might just put a squad in danger. She's forgetting the quite simple thing here. Time for another pep talk. You see, everyone kind of has... Well, the soldiers themselves have the right reason for fighting, per se, but... using morality as a reason for your fighting, when the other side are using the exact same reasoning. It's always funny. Thanks for that image. I wouldn't have known where they were attacking otherwise. Wow. How many men did they lose? Ooh. You're busy with the shovel there while the other guy is being shot. Kind of an accurate representation. Kind of. Quite the... Don't stick your head up above the fortifications for too long. Firing artillery into a melee scuffle. Yep, resupplying. How many casualties have you suffered? They don't seem too happy to be there. They prop up from the ground, yeah. They do have a large country in which to cultivate their stock, though, don't they? So they've got a ground battle and an aerial battle. Yep, after 18 hours of continuous fighting, that'll do that to you. So what are their plans here for attacking the city? Which force do they fight? I would like to see a proper dogfight. Anti-air. Are they going after the mages? Ha! There's a time and a place for bravado. That was the squad that was just saved. Well, just. She's not going to be a threat for Tanya to deal with if she was taken down by that. Duck hunting. And now she's separated from the unit. Clever. Definitely for a court-martialing for ignoring all of these commands. These magic shields are quite handy, aren't they? Yeah, you might want to get out of the way of that. Delayed explosion. Shockwave. Yes. To show the true power behind all of that. I can see why they omitted it last time. Yep, keep him busy. The thing about these airplanes is they've got quite a big surface area to hit, don't they? How many rounds of ammunition did the fighting planes carry? I've always been... Well, I haven't always been curious, I'm now curious. I never even thought about it before. Who do you fear more? Which is the bigger threat? Would you want raw power or rate of fire? That was some weird frame rate there. But nice camera angles. That's the issue when you're not disciplined. At the minute, it's a kind of a battle of attrition for Tanya. That was dangerous, with the propeller being there. Can they actually reach the bombers in time? It is strangely peaceful above the clouds. Did they get him before the payload was released though? Now that the bombers are gone, they have no reason to stick around. Yep, they don't have time to sit around, do they? Great. Tanya's fighting strong but ill-disciplined. What did I do to you? At least they got to have a little chat. Okay. So we've got one fueled by emotion and one trying not to be. Now, we obviously know which wins out here, but the thing is, you're in a fight. You can be blinded by your emotions and rage. You can't think things out logically or rationally. Trying to topple a tower on top of her, are you? Point blank attack like that, that's a lot of damage. I wouldn't let you guard down too early though. Wow. The strike from her weapon by itself broke through her shield. Probably broke her arm. The thing is she going to feel better after this? This will be a major blow to the Empire if Tanya gets defeated by a novice. Yeah. Everyone lets their guard down. No one ever double taps. Oh, her pistol. And she destroyed the magic crystal. Just go for a kill shot. Don't waste so much ammo. Is this the church? Is this the church that we saw at the beginning? So now she's either going to be still alive or like treated as some martyr. You hesitated. No. She did well, though, didn't she? I'm surprised that after all of this, Tanya didn't hit any vital organs when shooting her. So we didn't see the turning point in the battle there, other than the bombers. They're definitely going to need a few field medics. Is he alive? Oh. He was saved, but oh, that was just fancy text. I could actually just read that. They've known for a while that she always tries to get a safety position in the rear, yeah. Like the research thing before. Well, experimentation division thing. Where she got the medallion. Which one? She wouldn't be a great soldier if she had a teenage strop. They won't take kindly to that kind of speech. But having knowledge of the battlefield, and potentially knowledge from the future, well, our events, which might necessarily be in the future, but unified states. Which was, admittedly, somewhat of a tipping point. One of the many tipping points, I must admit. But would they just ignore their potential allies? It's best to keep most options on the table. Who else? Who would be better? That is quite the proposal. Quite amazing for a quote-unquote child. Brute force is somewhat necessary, but that kind of thinking is kind of short-sighted. Powerful, still useful, but wounded. There is... yeah. There's quite a few scorched earth policies throughout the years. And then you have people fighting the way that Mary did. You won't win just through sheer strength. It's kind of unfortunate that Tanya was entered onto this side of the conflict. Two months is quite good. 2 months away from the fighting. It's a start. Try not to celebrate within earshot, though. Very dangerous. Well, to escape it all, really. This joy will soon evaporate, I'm guessing, but yeah. Enjoy it while you can. I wouldn't antagonize being X. You know what happens every time. It was a hard-won, well-fought victory that culminated in her actually getting away from the action for once, but the will of this deity isn't exactly in her favour, is it? Kind of surprised that we didn't really get any sort of interaction between the two in this, considering, apart from the skirmishes and whatnot, it's part of the main driving force behind this series, at least in the background, so... I forgot how much I love this song. And the artwork is definitely pretty amazing, isn't it? Yes. 2 months. She was given her 2 months. Are they enjoying their time off? Are they really still playing cards against her? Must be nice to actually have a nice... Oh, and chocolate. Nice, just desk and tea without explosions around you. Or a crappy bunk. Oh, good. She is doing good work. How is this going to backfire? She is being the guinea pig for her own plans. Wow. Yeah, she's been given an entire combined arms battalion, really. Salamander. Getting her to come up with the plans to win, and then send her off as the one in charge. They can't let go of her abilities on the field, though, so... Can you really blame them? That is quite the face, and also, I'm pretty sure that was at the beginning of the movie as well. When they're on the plane. It was good that it circled back. I do enjoy the odd self-reference. Now, due to my own lack of knowledge on certain histories and places and times, some of these might not have had the impact that they might have if I had known. the implications of our own history there. But they were right about the communists. Manpower was one thing they really did have. And, I'm not sure about volunteer units being introduced. I'd be surprised if there wasn't some kind of haphazard thing like that, but as we know, with the unified states being dragged into the war, even if someone isn't directly implicated in the battle, they are going to have to pay attention to the political implications of ignoring their allies. I'm trying to remember what brought an end to our version. I don't know why I'm trying to kind of censor myself in my wording, because I've probably said a lot in this which YouTube wouldn't really like, considering the subject matter. I very much doubt there's something right at the end of the credits, but let's see. I'm glad I watched the movie, mainly because everything that I'm watching at the minute, it is nice to see some sort of fantastical, historical-based show that delved on some quite deep-ish topics. I felt like some characters in this that weren't really explored and given the time that we needed to actually care about what happened to them, or want to see them get their comeuppance, but what are you going to do with an hour-and-a-half movie? I was kind of estimating that since the initial attack, the recon scout where they destroyed the railway cannon, that would have a bigger impact on the story, like they'd have to deal with those kind of artillery barrages themselves, but we didn't really see that. I mean, we heard that they probably had more when they were having that big fight, but they were slow to move around and blah blah blah. And Tanya had her scuffle with Mary, and then everyone's retreating. Okay, can I see that, please? Despite the interference of being X, one of the biggest things that Tanya has to contend with is the will of the generals themselves, because being this ace mage, well, colonel, no, she's a major of the mage squad thing, they can't allow her to be away from the fight for too long, because they need her power and they need her mindset, they need her skills. So no matter what she does, she's not going to find too much peace. And pretty much like the initial anime itself, some of the visuals in this were just nice. I mean, not as spectacular as things we've seen in some of the others, other shows that I've watched, but that's not to detract from what they actually got right. I did think that maybe they'd try to explore some of the, like, darker sides of war, but it didn't really get too much in that sense. It was the main conflicts. But I understand, for a movie they've got to keep things like kind of spectacular to engage the audience. I did like the little hints to the interplay of the squad itself with number two's penchant for his wine, and is it second lieutenant Victoria Saberichkov ability of playing poker, at least what I assume was poker. Small, subtle little details, but it did give a like a depth of these are actual people rather than just the unnamed infantry. Like the guy that they went to save and then end up getting blasted away by the Mary. Even despite the lack of interplay between Tanya and Being X rather than, well, mostly because it was just Tanya talking to rather than having it a back and forth. This movie did well. I liked it. Quite enjoyable. It just makes me slightly perturbed that there isn't really more. Well, only time will tell now that this film came out. So, if you would like to see more, please let me know. If you've enjoyed, also let me know. If you've actually made it through the entire hour and a half of the movie and then my thoughts afterwards, wow! Get yourself a drink and a snack, you well deserved it. And I'm not going to leave you with just this by itself, because, well, if you manage to get my relatively low subscriber count over 2,000, there will be another movie. I'm not telling you what it is, but there will be another movie. And if not, well, I'm just going to have to wait slightly longer, and so are you. So let's see what you do. But for the time being, hopefully, after everything you've seen, you're able to get some rest. And I'll see you in the next one.